Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Focused on the impact of user research and how we might prioritize for maximum impact in dynamic environments.
There is a need to prioritize research efforts and resources to maximize impact.
Suddenly, there were tons of research questions popping up everywhere, and we asked ourselves, okay, how should we prioritize this? Question number one, ask yourself, is the research project related to an OKR? Second question, is there a set of clear action items based on the findings from the research? So we use these 7 research questions. They will help you in the future as well to prioritize.
I'm head of user research for IBM Cloud. We want to work on projects that IBM has deemed the highest priority. And then lastly, we want to inform product strategy. And thinking about informing product strategy, that probably takes priority over product UX, which is a higher priority than UI elements. And that is the one that I think sometimes my group gets the biggest bang for the buck in terms of thinking about discussing what this means. How do we go about thinking about which one of these should we do? Should we do all 3? Who should work on them? One way to kind of think about that is to think about these 7 questions as being sort of a prioritization rubric. We see that each really has different strengths and limitations in terms of potential business impact, and then also our ability to meet the goals of the project based on our expertise and resources.
It's important that when you're looking to deliver impact, you want to have a clear understanding of what your objectives are that will take you towards that North Star. And you also want to make sure that you have a conversation with your leaders so you're aligned. So that's step 1, how to measure impact. Exactness isn't the point, but she went to the sellers and asked them to estimate, how much do you think Watson Moment influenced sales? And so she was able to report that the sellers believe it influenced the increase of sales by 30%. And here's an example of an impact dashboard. And so you can see this might not be what you would normally think of. There aren't too many bars and charts on here, but this is an example of what it takes to get creative in terms of identifying how you're having impact on a product.
So you really need to make sure that the VP and everyone up and down is aligned with what you're actually focused on. You need to ensure that the people you're working with have skin in the game. Ensure that your stakeholders are dedicating time and collaborating with you on the research. If it's really important to them, they'll participate. Great primary research begins with great secondary research. And once you're done with that secondary research, you know what? Maybe there's less of a case to be made for doing that primary research. And then finally, plan for championing insights to impact business results. So, doing the research, that's the easy part, okay? Make sure that after that research is done, you've got a plan for advocating your insights. That's what it's all about.